Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, Democrat Doug Jones making history, defeating Republican Roy Moore in the Alabama Senate race by a razor-thin margin, just 1.5%, which adds up to about 21,000 votes. Democrats are celebrating, but Moore has yet to accept defeat. ABC's Maggie Rulli joins us live from Montgomery, Alabama, with the latest today. Maggie?
A Democrat challenging a Republican backed by President Trump in one of the most conservative states and actually winning. Up until about a month ago, that scenario seemed impossible. But last night, the voters of Alabama made history.
And now I just don't know what the hell to say.
For the first time in a quarter of a century, deep red Alabama is sending a Democrat to the Senate.
We have been at crossroads in the past. And unfortunately, we have usually taken the wrong fork. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you took the right road.
Doug Jones beats Republican Roy Moore, riding a wave of support from African-American voters, young people, women, and even from the most unlikeliest of places, former lifelong Republicans.
I feel like holding my party to a better standard.
We have shown not just around the state of Alabama, but we have shown the country the way that we can be unified.
The Republicans' lock on this Alabama Senate seat was upended just 34 days ago when allegations of sexual misconduct against Moore were made public, including accusations of sexual assault against two teenage girls when Moore was in his 30s. Moore denies the allegations and blames them for his loss.
Part of the problem with this campaign is we've been painted in an unfavorable and unfaithful light. We've been put in a hole.
President Trump tweets that the deck was stacked against Moore, and he knew the judge would have a hard time winning. But Moore has yet to concede.
Got to do is wait on God and let this process play out.
Moore may insist the fight is not yet over, but the Alabama Secretary of State says a recount is highly unlikely. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Montgomery, Alabama. Back to you guys.
All right, Maggie, thank you. Here at home, Sarasota County Commissioners set tentative priorities for the 2019 budget. That plan focuses on issues like allocating funds to expand River Road, including bicycle lanes and sidewalks. Sarasota County is designing a countywide fiber optic network for better internet access in government. Also, the development of long-term solution for a national flood insurance program and developing community programs that will help the homeless. Also, extending the Legacy Trail to the north into downtown Sarasota. Other priority funding will go towards health and human services, such as funding for the Zika virus. This holiday season, Sarasota police will be working around the clock to keep drivers and passengers safe as they search for drunk drivers. Starting today, Sarasota PD is partnering with the Department of Transportation to enforce a program called Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over. Last year, more than 36,000 people were killed in car crashes nationwide, and more than 10,000 of them died because of a drunk driver. Sarasota PD wants to remind drivers it is never okay to drive drunk. Designate a sober driver or plan to use public transportation to get home safely. AAA's Tow to Go service will be available from December 22nd through January 2nd. And if you do see a drunk driver on the road, call 911. Also, if you have a friend who's about to drive and drink, take the keys away and make arrangements to get that friend home safely. Let's get a check on our weather now. Meteorologist Josh Stone in for John today, and cool start to the day. Let me rephrase that. A cold start for us here in Florida, huh?
You know, yesterday we were about 10 degrees warmer, and then, wow, a shock to the system when we walked outside this morning. But that's going to be the case today. A little bit cooler today than yesterday because of a cold front that came by late yesterday and into yesterday evening to not only kick up the winds but bring us the cooler temperatures and dry air from the north. So right now temperatures around the Sun Coast are in the low 60s and upper 50s. So it is cooler than yesterday, no doubt about that. Now we are looking at the radar since that dry air now is in the wake of that cold front that came by yesterday. That has helped to clear things out. Remember, at this time, the winds were pretty strong yesterday, gusting over 20 miles per hour at times, but not today. Everything is very calm, but the general direction of the wind are coming down from the north, thanks to an area of high pressure to our northwest that is settling in now, bringing those winds around in front of it, coming down from the north. So what can we expect for this afternoon? Sunny skies, high pressure in control. And then something will change as we get into the next couple of days, and we'll talk more about that when I return back to you, Scott.
All right, Josh, thank you. Florida has finally reached its first price gouging settlement following the Hurricane Irma back in September. More than 7,500 complaints were placed with Florida's price gouging hotline after the storm, complaining about inflated prices on water, gas, hotels, and more. Attorney General Pam Bondi's office has announced a $25,000 settlement with the Miami Princess Hotel after an investigation showed room rates increased by up to 138% in the days following the storm. In addition to the settlement, Bondi confirmed 10 more businesses, mostly hotels and gas stations, are also under active investigation for illegally inflating prices after Irma. Bondi says reaching final settlements will take some time.
We have to go back at least a month prior to the state of emergency and show that their prices were grossly inflated during a state of emergency. So unless they're going to voluntarily comply and admit that they were wrong, we have to issue subpoenas.
Customers who stayed at the Miami Princess Hotel during the time in question are also eligible for a refund if they file a complaint by early January. Well, Christmas now less than 2 weeks away, and for those who were impacted by Hurricane Irma, the thought of the holiday could bring on some extra stress during what many consider to be the happiest time of the year. That's why FEMA specialists are in Northport today, helping make the season a little brighter. Although Irma was back in September, people across the area and the state continue to get their homes back to normal. Doing so around this time of year could cause some stress for those looking to prepare for the holidays. We talked to one person whose home was damaged, but she says she's renting, so the cost of repairs were not directly taken out of her own pocket. But she says it has taken a great amount of time to get her home back to its original state.
I mean, it would have been nice to not have all of the additional damage and everything happen to our house, and you know, it's not that we can't just deal with it because it's not really our house. So yeah, it kind of sets things back a little bit, which is, you know, maybe a little frustrating because instead of focusing on holiday shopping or figuring out our travel plans, we're having to figure out how to get trees off of our house. So it's kind of crazy to think something that happened back in the beginning of September is still affecting us towards the end of December. So, you know, it takes a while to recover from things like this.
Well, FEMA suggests if you did lose your home or business, trying to cope with that damage right around the holidays can be challenging. So connect with friends and family and seek help with a therapist if you do need it. Well, still to come in your Suncoast News today, the happy chaos of the holidays can be exhausting and exhilarating, especially when children are running around. We'll show you the different ways you can keep kids safe now that the holidays are here. And Florida's not the healthiest state out of the top 50. We'll tell you where we ranked according to a new study.
Coming up, we'll introduce you to an amazing Suncoast woman who doesn't let anything stop her in her efforts to protect the environment.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these other injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-604-1698. That's 800-604-1698.
All right, good to see you on this Wednesday afternoon. I'm your friendly meteorologist, Josh Stone, giving you a forecast of sunshine today, but about 10 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. Right now, it's 61 degrees, dew point at 42. Mind you, in the summertime, we have dew points in the 60s and 70s. So when you have a dew point of here in Tallahassee at 22, 42 here in Sarasota, it shows you how dry it is, how dry the atmosphere is. So it is going to be cooler today, like I said, about 10 degrees cooler. Yesterday we topped out at 74, which is average for this time of the year. Today, not so much. We're going to be, like I said, 10 degrees cooler, but things will change. How are they going to change? Winds will be coming in from the south and west, and by tomorrow will be warmer, and actually this warming trend will continue as we go through the next several days. But there's another system coming our way that could cloud up the skies and bring us some shower activity as we get into our Friday. Right now, as we discussed, the theme here of the weathercast today is dry conditions. Dry air above us, and that's why our radar will remain quiet today. Here it is, area of high pressure driving down that drier and cooler air from the north. Here's the front that came by yesterday. That's well to the south of Florida now. But as this area of high pressure slowly moves east, we'll have the wraparound flow come in from the south and then the southwest, and that's going to help warm things up over the next few days. Dry air shows up in tan here, draping the state of Florida, but there's this other system coming down from the north that's going to connect with a little more moisture here as we get into Friday, and that will potentially bring us some light showers around the Sun Coast. I don't think it's going to be a widespread event, but just something to monitor if you're going out, if you have any outdoor plans for Friday. A couple of systems to talk about here on the national picture. One here in the northeast bringing some chilly rain up through Maine and into Canada here at the backside of it, where that very cold air is coming down on the backside of the low. It's bringing down snow for those folks there. And in the upper Midwest, through areas of Wisconsin and western Michigan, getting their share of some accumulating snowfall. As far as the airport delays go, the only real minor delay is here in LaGuardia if you're leaving Sarasota, but all the other airports, Charlotte, Chicago, Atlanta, looking pretty good. Okay, for the Mariners today, let's check out the beach and boating forecast. Northeasterly wind becoming northwest 5 to 10 knots. Sea is 2 to 4 feet with a light chop in the bay. Tides, well, the high tide will be at 9:03 p.m. Today's high around 64 degrees. And as far as your extended outlook, I've got sunshine in there for you, and the highs climb back into the mid to upper 70s, so looking pretty good, Scott.
All right, Josh, thank you. Well, don't let the hustle and bustle of the holidays leave child safety overlooked. Doctors say it's important to keep an eye out for your children's safety as early as when you're decorating the tree. Small children may break fragile glass ornaments and cut themselves, so it's best to place anything breakable near the top of the tree. Same goes for ornaments that contain small items that a child could swallow. And the toys underneath the tree should get a safety check as well.
It's very important to read the labels to make sure that it's age appropriate. And not just age appropriate for the child you are giving the gift to or the present is intended to be for, but also for siblings around.
Hard candies also a danger to young curious children. Dr. Grover says that these small colorful sweets are choking hazards and should be kept where little hands can't find them. Well, Florida ranks 32nd among the healthiest states in the nation. That's according to a new United Health Group 2017 ranking. The Sunshine State rose a few spots in these rankings after ranking at number 36 last year. The state ranks 30th for senior health, 40th for the health of women and children. The group's annual America's Health Rankings report published this month looks at 35 measures covering behaviors, community and environment, policy, clinical care, and outcomes data. The report's executive summary claims the country is facing some serious public health challenges, including rising rates of premature death and an uneven concentration of healthcare providers. Well, we keep hearing about augmented reality and how it could allow us to travel into space or feel like we're in Star Wars. But for some, it's helping them experience things that many of us might take for granted. In fact, a blind man from California is using this augmented reality to help him see in his own way. He's a computer teacher who's been legally blind his entire life, but now he's using special glasses that help him do everything from read a book to identify objects. He works through an app where someone describes what he's seen in real time.
Well, sir, I see that we are in Barnes & Noble. How can I help you?
I would like to go to the children's area and look for a board book for my little boy.
Okay, sounds like fun.
Company takes about 300 calls a day. It's a monthly subscription-based service. And to those who have it, the on-call agents are available from 4 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon daily. And they say their goal is to eventually become a 24/7 service. All right, time to head over to the kitchen now and check in with our friend Chef Mark Alton from Finn's at Sharky's in Venice. Mark, great to have you in our kitchen today. What are you fixing for us?
Oh, good to be here today. Today I have some of these beautiful Michigan apples, and I'm making apple beignet for us.
Sounds delicious. We'll be right back with you, Mark. Thank you so much for being here.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com, AndServices.com.
Florida Studio Theater presents Mac the Knife, celebrating the spirited and immense talent of one of the greatest performers of the 20th century, featuring some of Bobby Darin's biggest hits such as Splish Splash, Beyond the Sea, Dream Lover, and of course, Mac the Knife. Critics say Mac the Knife is energetic, performed with great spirit, full of impressive arrangements. Audiences are calling it outstanding in every way. Mac the Knife is now playing. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting FloridaStudioTheater.org.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline. If you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death, you must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
Come out and enjoy a taste of Hanukkah this Sunday, December 17th from 3 to 6 p.m. at Philippi Estate Park on 41 in Sarasota. Everyone is invited. Admission is just $5 for adults. Children are free and free parking. See the world-famous Belunak, BMX trick stars, and more. Delicious gourmet kosher foods, music, and a 4-ton snow slide. Fun for the entire family. A taste of Hanukkah this Sunday, December 17th from 3 to 6 at Philippi Estate Park.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays from ABC7.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com, AndServices.com.
Students that gives them an excitement about scientific studies in the future. And in her quest to share her love for nature, she has let nothing stand in her way. ABC7's Linda Carson has her story.
This field trip is a part of the year-long Nature's Academy program encompassing science, technology, engineering, and math.
They do a nature walk,
They head down to the water where they do a biodiversity study. They're dip netting and discovering the organisms that live in our grass beds. They do a coastal cleanup, and they also do some water quality testing.
Nature's Academy provides it free to every 5th grader in Manatee County. Executive Director and founder Dana Pounds is a marine biologist from New Jersey who headed south after graduation.
I just packed up my car and drove as far as my gas would take me and got all the way down to the Florida Keys and started teaching in the Florida Keys marine biology when I was 22, and it's stuck ever since.
Her career soared.
I have been able to travel to Australia and study on the Great Barrier Reef. I have been all over the Caribbean and even spent 6 months in the Galapagos.
Then a stunning blow.
In 1999, I was diagnosed with a very rare form of sarcoma, and they are called desmoid tumors. And initially, I just started off with tumors in my right leg, and I fought very hard for 9 years to maintain function in my leg, but after 9 years, we ended up needing to have my leg amputated to save my life.
During her battle, she married and started Nature's Academy, but then
I found out that my cancer had returned in my hip and pelvis.
She entered a clinical trial.
This has reduced my tumor by 50% and literally saved my life.
But the medication caused bone density loss, cracks in her pelvis that caused terrible pain. But she believes Nature's Academy will have a long-lasting effect on these students.
Hopefully something resonates with them, whether it's the academic, the science, it's the environmental stewardship. They want to litter less, they want to take better care of the waterways, or perhaps they're just inspired to reach for something that's higher and bigger than they've ever thought of before.
Her life lesson, the darkest clouds hold the most sunshine.
Nature's Academy never would have come in existence had I not been diagnosed with cancer. And so how could I ever be upset or feel like I have been sold short in my life when I'm sitting here wearing this polo, speaking with you today, experiencing what life has to offer me, and this has literally all been brought to me through the gift of cancer.
And Dana's contributions to the environment and to education have not gone unnoticed. The Environmental Protection Agency just gave her 2 huge awards, one for lifetime achievement for Dana, another for the work and the contributions of her students. This amazing Suncoast woman is a credit to our community wherever she goes. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Linda, thank you so much. Back to the kitchen now. Josh is with our guest today, Chef Mark Alton from Fins at Sharky's. Josh?
All right, Mark, I love apples, and looks like we're in for a treat this afternoon.
Oh, we are. First off, we got an apple beignet, and we serve it with a cinnamon gelato. We make a dulce de leche sauce, which is milk caramel. If you want to start with that, go ahead and put the sugar in the pan.
All right, putting me right to work here.
We're going to put in 4 cups of milk to go with that.
Okay. Now, how long does this usually take to make?
Yeah, we won't be able to finish that here because that's about an hour and a half cook time.
Okay.
On very low. Basically, we're cooking the milk until it gets to be this dark, rich caramel color.
And how do you pronounce that again?
Dulce de
leche.
Means like milk candy.
Gotcha.
So over here, we're also going to make some candied pecans. So I'm going to start off with 1 egg white, a little bit of water with that.
Is this sufficient, Chef?
That is excellent.
All right. All right.
We mix that up. Then I'm going to put a pound of pecans into that mix.
Candied pecans.
Yep. This is kind of like the dessert on the dessert.
Boy, it looks good.
Yeah.
So this is from, the apples are from Michigan? You said the owners go
right.
up to Michigan?
One of our owners drives up to Michigan every year and brings back about 30 bushels of apples. So I'm going to put the sugar on these things here, the pecans, a little bit of cinnamon, just a pinch of cayenne pepper to give it a little bit of heat. We stir that all around.
So that looks like it takes pretty minimal time to make the candied pecans.
From this point on here, you put them on a sheet pan and you pull them out of the oven, and that's what they look like.
Looking pretty good. I'm going to try one.
Then back to our apples, the star of the show here. I've made a like a beer batter, but I've used ginger beer. So I take the apples and I dip in a little flour.
Now, why ginger beer? Just to add a little kick to it?
Yeah, it's, you know, what goes good with apples, some ginger. So I mix this up. It's got egg in it. It's got the ginger beer soda in it. And not ginger ale, ginger beer.
Okay.
Which is a bit stronger. There's also some powdered ground ginger in the mix. And then these will fry at 350 till they're nice and puffy brown.
Wow, this looks.
And then we're going to serve
really
these
good.
with some gelato.
Any recommendations on what type of gelato? Any flavor?
I use a cinnamon flavored gelato. Vanilla would work great, or pretty whatever you like. Some butter pecan would probably go pretty good too.
Wow.
So look at how nice and this is like a cross between, you know, a baked apple and a donut.
Now, how long does this particular part take?
About 4 minutes total there.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
Pretty quick.
So over here, if you got, we can dish up some of this gelato.
All right.
And have a finished dish here. Hand me that. Pardon me, sir.
Oh, sure. This looks very good.
Yep. I grab a couple here that I cooked a few minutes ago. So we'll put one of these apples on the bottom. Nice scoop of the gelato.
Can you hold the bowl up so we can all see that? Look at that, folks. That looks really good.
We're going to kind of make an apple sandwich with another piece of that.
Apple sandwich.
And then we're going to take our caramel, dulce de leche.
Dulce de leche.
All over the top of that.
And that's pretty much the
well, no, we're not quite done
product.
here.
Okay.
Because now we're going to add some whipped cream.
All right. Got a few more seconds here, Chef. And just like that, presto, looks like we've got something really exciting to eat.
There you are.
Okay, Chef, thank you so much for coming on this afternoon. Appreciate that. And if you want this recipe or others, go to our website at mysuncoast.com, click on the dining tab, and you'll see it all. We'll be right back.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
The perfect musical for the holidays is live on the Players Center stage. Packed with the big band sounds from World War II, the 1940s Radio Hour is our Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy answer to the holiday blues. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. The Players Wild Broadway series wishes you a Merry Christmas with the 1940s Radio Hour.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Topping our news this half hour, a man accused of killing his mother in Lakewood Ranch nearly 6 years ago has been arrested in Israel. Thomas Gross is accused of stabbing to death his mother, 78-year-old Ina Gross, back in January of 2012. Her body was found in the garage of her Lakewood Ranch home. Gross's sister, Ellen Girth, strongly believes he murdered his mother for money.
I would like to see Tom spend the rest of his life incarcerated. It will never bring my mother back. But his incarceration is justice, that is the justice that he deserves.
Following the murder, Gross fled to Israel. He'll now be extradited back to Manatee County, where he'll face those murder charges. Sarasota County School Board members vote to reimburse the superintendent's legal fees in a sexual harassment investigation. The board voting 4-1 to pay for the attorney. The investigation centers around allegations from a school district employee who accused Superintendent Todd Bowden of sexually harassing her. Bowden has denied the charges. The allegations came up when Bowden was vying for the superintendent position back in 2016. Now his accuser has filed a complaint with the district. The board also voted to hire an outside investigator to look into the allegations. There's a new push to create a Crime Victims Bill of Rights amendment in the state constitution. It would ensure victims have the same rights and protections as those who are accused and convicted. Some rights would include being notified of major developments in a criminal case, any changes in the offender's release status, the right to be heard in court and parole hearings, and the right to restitution.
Dignity demands that victims or loved ones of victims have the ability to be heard, and sometimes they are not afforded even that. And this cannot stand.
Florida Constitution Revision Commission meets every 20 years and has the power to place constitutional amendments directly on next November's ballot. A potential new tax on 7-figure salaries for employees of nonprofits has not stopped universities from handing out those huge contracts to new coaches. Both the House and Senate versions of the GOP tax overhaul include a new 20% excise tax on salaries of $1 million or more paid by universities and other nonprofits. More than 100 football and basketball coaches pull in 7 figures. Texas A&M might be on the hook for nearly $15 million in taxes because of its new contract with football coach Jimbo Fisher. Though economists and other experts say the tax, though, is unlikely to drive down those coaches' salaries. An increase in security today on the campus of the University of Central Florida in Orlando. UCF police are investigating a weapons threat at the school's main campus. Police announced on Twitter they had received a call last night from a man claiming to have weapons and making additional threats. Investigators tried to maintain contact with the man, who they say sounded like he was under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Police statement says investigators do not believe the threat is credible, but officers will maintain a heavy presence on campus over the next few days. A possible meningitis outbreak at a daycare in South Florida has left 2 children dead. A state health department official confirming a boy less than a year old died earlier this month of pneumococcal meningitis, and a 2-year-old boy died Sunday, but the cause of death has not been confirmed yet. The State Department of Health sent a note to parents urging them to speak to their child's doctors about possible symptoms.
They don't know yet if the deaths are related, so that's something that they'll be looking at, and they'll be out here tomorrow looking at the site, inspecting the site, making sure that everything's okay, and they'll let the daycare know when they can open.
Florida Department of Health and the Florida Department of Children and Families plan to inspect the daycare center. That center agreed not to reopen until it had been cleared by those agencies. And remember, for the latest on local and breaking news, you can download our updated version of our news app. iPhone users need to go to the App Store and re-download the app. Just search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Nearly 5 years since the Sandy Hook tragedy, a survivor is joining forces with a company that specializes in school security to raise awareness on how to react in an active shooter situation. A former teacher at the school is now shifting her focus to the nonprofit sector, teaching children the power of kindness and raising awareness of how to react during a similar situation. She's teaming up with Armored One. That's a company that hires law enforcement, retired military, and Secret Service agents that specialize in protecting schools from active shooters.
I knew immediately that what I was hearing was a weapon or multiple weapons shattering windows, bringing terror, pain, sadness, and immeasurable loss to a school full of light and love.
Wherever you work, not having your back to the door, see what's coming at you and have a plan in every direction.
Armored One doesn't just come to schools, they also go to businesses and organizations to train staff on how to defend themselves. Sarasota County naming its Teacher of the Year this morning. Riverview High School's S. Swihart earning the honor at an awards ceremony at the Westin in Sarasota. That's her on the right there. Swihart will go on to represent Sarasota County at the statewide Teacher of the Year event next year and will receive a $2,500 cash award. This year's finalists were Bethany Burnett of Venice Elementary School, Allison Cohen of Booker, and Swihart from Riverview. And by the way, this is the second straight year a Riverview teacher has won the county's Teacher of the Year honor. Kids in Manatee and Sarasota counties read more than 10,000 books through the Suncoast campaign for grade level reading summer book challenge. And now county officials want to improve the program even more. Sarasota Herald Tribune reporting representatives from more than 20 agencies in Manatee and Sarasota counties gathered yesterday to assess the effectiveness of the book challenge. Their main goal is to improve reading scores throughout the school year.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
It's just a season to remember those who may need a little extra cheer this holiday season. The Sarasota Rotary Club dropping by Children First earlier today, Sarasota's Head Start provider, to spread some cheer and holiday gifts to the children in that program.
We need to give back to our community. So that's one reason why Children's First is so important to us, because this is our future. And we want to keep these kids going.
We love to see their faces when they're sitting down with the kids, you know, making reindeer, you know, doing crafts and things like that. Just to see their faces light up when they see someone from the community that they don't know come in and spend time with them is amazing.
Many of the kids there come from very low-income families who are not able to afford gifts this year. And a group of Manatee Technical College students took a break from their studies to sell trees and pose with Santa. Tree sales will benefit the Manatee County Boys and Girls Clubs. 16 Manatee Technical College students from the medical, law enforcement, and pharmacy technician programs all helped to sell Christmas trees behind Jesse Miller Elementary School in Bradenton. And it was, I don't know, kind of a seasonal day to do that today. Kind of chilly, feels like the winter.
It
feels
does.
like the holidays, you know?
About 10 degrees cooler than our average of 74.
Right.
I think that's what we're going to top out today, maybe about 64. But still a very pleasant fall-like, if you will, maybe Florida type of winter day. Let's check out our current temperatures right now. It's 61 in Sarasota, 61 in Bradenton. Venice a little bit cooler at 58, but hey, we'll take the sunshine. As far as the radar goes, well, we have dry air above us, so that's capping everything out, not allowing any sort of moisture to develop, and we're going to continue to see this sunshine for the rest of the day. And we'll have clear skies tonight, make it a great night for stargazing. Anyway, checking out the temperatures, you can see they will dip down into the low 50s for tomorrow morning. And then there'll be a little bit of a change as we get into the next several days and the upcoming weekend, and I think you'll like this change that I have for you, and we'll break this down in detail when I return. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Josh, thank you. Now to the Russia investigation and newly revealed text messages sent by an FBI agent now removed from the special counsel's team. Today in Washington, the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein is testifying about the ongoing probe, as President Trump's legal team is now pushing for the appointment of a second special counsel, claiming bias in Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has more.
Overnight, ABC News reviewing 375 text messages between two former members of special counsel Robert Mueller's team. Messages, according to President Trump's lawyers, that show a conflict of interest for the FBI in its Russia investigation. On March 4th, the day after a Republican primary debate, FBI attorney Lisa Page wrote, "God, Trump is a loathsome human." On the same day, FBI agent Peter Strzok texted, "Would he be a worse president than Senator Cruz?" To which Page responded, "Trump? Yes, I think so." Strzok replied, "I'm not sure," later adding, "OMG, he's an idiot." Page then wrote, "He's awful."
The Department of Justice investigations must not be tainted by individuals imposing their own political prejudices.
We recognize we have employees with political opinions, and it's our responsibility to make sure those opinions do not influence their actions.
But Mueller removed Strzok from his team immediately upon learning of the text messages. That's according to his spokesman, and we're told Page was only on the team for a brief period. Democrats claim there is no evidence Strzok and Page's political views affected the special counsel investigation or the probe of Hillary Clinton's emails. In the numerous text message exchanges, Strzok and Page even bashed Democrats. In July of 2016, Strzok texted, "Oh God, Holder, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off." Page responded, "Yeah, I saw him yesterday," and booed at the TV. The year before, Page wrote, "I just saw my first Bernie Sanders bumper sticker. Made me want to key the car." Attorney General Jeff Sessions has his staff reviewing the issue, but at this time, no one has alleged that the FBI officials have committed any crime. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
A man accused in a failed terror attack in New York City is expected to appear before a judge today from his bedside as he recovers in the hospital. Akayed Ullah is accused of setting off a pipe bomb strapped to his body at the Port Authority bus terminal Monday morning, but it did not go off all the way. Investigators say Ullah admitted to the crime and said he was inspired by ISIS. He's facing numerous federal and state terrorism charges. Still to come in your Suncoast News, Homeland Security working on some high-tech gadgets to spot terror before it happens.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
This holiday season, share the greatest gift of all, peace of mind. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now during the Subaru Share the Love event, you can lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback, for just $229 a month, or get 0% financing with zero down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
good to see you on this Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi today. 61 degrees in Sarasota right now. It's 62 in Venice, 62 in Arcadia, 59 in Wauchula. So you get the idea that temperatures are a little bit cooler than they were yesterday. So low 60s around the board, but that's not all that bad. It's just jacket weather. As far as the dew points, this is an indication how dry the air is. And when you have dew points in the 40s and mid to upper 30s, well, that's pretty dry for our area. Remember, in the summertime, we can see dew points in the 70s. So our radar is very quiet, nothing to show you here. Area of high pressure is now taking control of the area. It's driving down that northerly wind, bringing down that cooler air. That's why we're experiencing temperatures about 10 degrees cooler than yesterday. And there's the culprit here. Here's the front that came by yesterday and kicked up the winds, and now in the wake of it, the high pressure is driving down that cooler and drier air from the north. Let's look at our futurecast. So today, nothing to show you here. We have plenty of sunshine on it. And then tomorrow, a little more cloud cover comes our way. Now, this is our in-house model. Depicts maybe some scattered, isolated showers. I think this is actually kind of aggressive, showing the shower activity. We could have a little bit more shower activity on Friday, but we're talking maybe a 20 to 30% chance for our area, and that's really about it. And it's nothing like going to be a severe weather situation or anything, just showers, and those will be short-lived. So here we go. High pressure in control of the southeast, so lack clouds, high pressure compressing and clearing out the skies here. And really everything's very quiet in the southeast. But there's two weather systems that are causing a little havoc. Let's talk about the first one up here in the northeast, producing some chilly rain. And now on the wraparound backside of this area of low pressure, well, we're having some accumulating snowfall. And also a Clipper system that's come out of Canada is tracking through the upper Midwest, through Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and Michigan, producing some accumulating snow, maybe by the time that's done up to 8 or 10 inches. You can see where the trough is, a buckle in the jet stream, if you will, allowing that cooler air to dip down from Canada. It's 21 right now in Detroit. It's 61 here in Sarasota. So, how about the boating forecast? For the Mariners, northeasterly wind becoming northwest this afternoon, not bad. Yesterday was a little different story, but 5 to 10 knots, seas just offshore 2 to 4 feet with a light chop in the bays. And water temperature right now at 74. We'll have plenty of sunshine today. Here's your tides. The high tide at 9:03 p.m. Sunset tonight at 5:38. Today's high at 64. Remember, our average is 74, so 10 degrees cooler. And if I can advance a little bit further, we have a very nice weekend in store for us, mid-70s, and we could actually be in the low 80s by early next week. Scott?
All right, Josh, thank you. New high-tech gadgets are being developed to protect bus and train stations in the wake of that subway terror attack in New York. Homeland Security is working on the devices to stop terror before it happens, like cameras that can detect people and cross-reference the face with other video, and computer programs that can detect unattended bags in public places. The technology may be 3 to 5 years away, but some beta testing has already proved successful.
What we have is a link to over 28,000 cameras.
Other technology they're working on includes panels and walls that can see what's inside your bag. Virtual currencies are mainstream in South Korea, so much so that people are willing to pay up to 20% more just to use them. Bitcoin prices are so obsessively tracked there that physical exchange sites have opened up to make trading virtual money easier. At least 1 million people buy it, trade it, cash it in. It's everyday banking and investing. The government even says it worries virtual currencies are corrupting the country's youth. With so many small investors all in, there could be a crash out.
They see as gambling in some ways. They try to earn more money by using exchanges.
South Korean government fears virtual currencies are arming North Korea with new financial weapons, making it easier to hack or launder money. And it warns North Korean hackers will aggressively target virtual currency exchanges in the years to come. A lot of retailers relax their return policies this time of year, so you'll have some extra time to take back things that don't work out. But don't assume all stores handle returns the same way. Some examples of stores with the best rated return policies: Nordstrom and Bed Bath & Beyond. It also depends on where you shop. For some retailers, the return policies are different, when you buy online than if you make the purchase in the store.
I usually ask what the return policy is, just so I know for the people that I'm buying for.
So read the fine print, pay attention to restocking fees, rules about product condition and packaging. Some stores may only make an exchange, and some only give you a store credit for the price of the item at the time of the return. Black Friday and Cyber Monday are in the rearview mirror, but retailers have one last trick to drive some holiday sales, and that's Free Shipping Day. This Friday will mark the 10th anniversary of Free Shipping Day. It's a day in which participating retailers offer free shipping with no minimum order and then guaranteed delivery by December 24th. 800 retailers are taking part this year, with many big names taking part. Among them, Amazon, Target, Macy's, Bloomingdale's, Toys R Us, and The Gap. We're learning more about some of the stamps being released by the U.S. Postal Service next year. Legendary musician John Lennon will be getting a stamp this year. So will award-winning singer and activist Lena Horne. Children's television pioneer Fred Rogers will also be honored by the Postal Service with a stamp, as will the first American woman in space, Sally Ride. Another milestone is set for Colorado's pioneering marijuana industry. It's the first business that could allow cannabis consumption, and it's expected to open by the end of the year. The small coffee house is already being built. It won't sell cannabis there, but visitors will be able to consume it. Those who visit the shop must bring their own marijuana. Vaping and eating cannabis are okay, but the owners say leave the joints at home. No smoking is allowed.
We are interested in providing the most comfortable environment we possibly can for consumption.
While there's no direct competition yet, industry insiders believe what is starting here will eventually be seen in some way throughout the state of Colorado. Still to come in your Suncoast News, this year's newest inductees to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
For 30 years, it's been an honor for the Michaels on Ice team to serve you.
We love that our restaurant, wine cellar, and ballroom have become your favorite gathering places, and we love catering your parties.
From everyday celebrations to life's greatest occasions, please join us soon for new culinary adventures. A toast to 30 years.
And to many more.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Have a great holiday.
Happy holidays from ABC7.
Bon Jovi and the Cars are among the newest inductees into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The organization announcing that list today, which also includes Dire Straits, the Moody Blues Band, and Nina Simone. Late gospel pioneer Sister Rosetta Tharpe will be honored with the Award for Early Influence. To be eligible, bands or artists must have released their first commercial recording at least 25 years prior to being inducted. 2017 may have been a year when women made their voices heard, but not on the music charts. According to Billboard, the top 10 artists of the year were all men, led by Ed Sheeran. Bruno Mars, Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and The Weeknd round out the top 5. And you won't get to a woman on the list until the 15th spot. That's Ariana Grande. Last time there wasn't a woman in the top 10, way back in 1984. If you're a major Taylor Swift fan, there might be something calling you out west. A pop-up shop dedicated to the pop star that is. It's a store in Santa Monica, California, which features costumes, the birdcage in her latest music video, and a store with Swift swag. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He'll be honored later today in Hollywood. According to producer of the Walk of Fame ceremonies, The Rock is getting the award for his talent and his philanthropic work. Well deserved, I think. Started as a wrestler,
nice.
Now he's a big-time movie star, and
wasn't he part of the XFL at one time too?
I don't know if he did that. Maybe. Have a great day, everyone.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sport Utility for $269 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $279 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Every day and in so many ways, our local firefighters, police, and EMTs protect and serve our community. All of us here at Minnesota Flooring want to say thank you. On December 13th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., we will give back by giving away 500 turkeys at our Bradenton, Sarasota, and Venice locations. Just bring your employee ID or proof of service. Supplies are limited to 500 turkeys. From all of us here at Minnesota Flooring, we wish you a safe and happy holiday season.